Ron Scott here. Whenever you're going to do a special meal for somebody special, even if it's just for yourself, you can't go wrong with steak. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to grill up a nice steak, I'm going to slice it up real thin, and I'm going to lay it over a bed of sauteed spinach. And for sides, I'm going to do Parmesan encrusted tomatoes. And when you want to do a good steak, you can't go wrong with a nicely marbled strip steak like I've got here tonight. The first thing I do is I put a special seasoning on it, a marinade actually. I call it my mocus. First we start out by splashing a little water on the steak, just to moisten it just a little bit. And then we add a little bit of meat tenderizer on there. Now you want to use papayan-based meat tenderizer. Adolph's is papayan-based. And you poke it a few times with a fork, let that get down in there. Next we're going to put a little Worcestershire sauce on there, like that. Then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to take the steak and put it inside a Ziploc bag. That makes sure the marinade covers it all the way around. Get in there and then just drain off whatever's left in the plate there. Roll that bag up real nice and tight. Lock that off. Now that I've got the steak marinating, I'm going to take off for a couple hours, grab a couple of beers at the ice house. That way when we come back, the steak will be nicely marinated and at room temperature and ready to cook. Okay, we're back. Our steak is marinated and at room temperature, and we're ready to start cooking. First thing we're going to do is prepare our Parmesan encrusted tomatoes. I'm going to slice it in half. Yeah, I like to use the cluster tomatoes. We're going to put those on a little toaster oven sheet. A little bit of olive oil, garlic powder, a little bit of basil. Use fresh basil if you've got it. I'm using dry basil leaves. Salt, and some fresh cracked pepper. I love the pepper. And now for the freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Parmigiano Reggiano, none other. And there we have our Parmesan encrusted tomatoes ready for the oven. We're going to put them in the toaster oven for about 350 for about 10 minutes, and then we'll go about 5 minutes with it on the top broil. Okay, our grill is heated up. It's time to cook our steak. And while this is cooking, we're going to be sauteing our spinach. I like to saute my spinach in a little garlic infused olive oil, so we're going to take 4 cloves of garlic here and slice them up real nice and thin. So now we're going to pour some olive oil in our little mini wok here for sauteing our spinach. Next we're going to add our garlic. I'm going to saute that garlic for just a little bit. Before that garlic gets too crispy, we're going to pull that out of the olive oil and reserve that for later to put back in with the sauteed spinach. Now that we've removed the garlic and the oil is good and hot, it's time to put in the spinach. Stir it around until it starts to wilt down. I love pepper, so we're going to put a little fresh cracked pepper over that. And voila! There you have it. And what I like to do is I go ahead and add my garlic back in there now. The reason we took the garlic out is we don't want to overcook the garlic. We want it to be crispy, but not burnt. And then I like to push that off to the back burner, put a lid on it, let it sit, and that'll be ready for emplating with our steak. Okay, it's time to pull that steak off, I think. Bring that bad boy out there. Woo! Tell you, that's going to be some good eating. Okay, let's see how we did. Start slicing that. Oh, try to slice it fairly thin. Oh, that is beautiful, baby. We've put our spinach on our plate. Now we're going to lay that meat right on top of it. Just like that. And finally, we're going to add our Parmesan encrusted tomatoes. Now there's only one thing left to do to make this meal absolutely perfect, and that's to pair it with a fine wine. Tonight I've decided to pair this meal with a 2005 Cabernet Sauvignon by Arrowwood. Bon appetit!